Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to another edition of Jerry's Take on China, and I'm Jerry. Today I'm going to talk about expats from my local park where it's a sweltering 32 degrees. Before starting though, I'd like to point out that this one isn't academically researched. It's just opinions based on being what people like to call an expat for the last 17, almost 18 years. I came to China in 2004 with a contract to work for an Australian company, but only for 8 months. I didn't consider myself an expat, although I guess I was. I was just experiencing something, some work in a foreign country. And after my contract expired, I made a decision that I liked China. I hadn't experienced enough of the country and had made some great friends here. So I went looking for and found a job. For the next few years, I was a foreign language teacher here. At no time did I consider myself to be an expat. As a foreigner though, I was earning great money, about 4 times what the locals earned. And as a result, I was able to save a lot, and I decided, after meeting my wife and getting married, that we should buy an apartment. So now, I think I am an expat. But there are 2 kinds of expats, and almost every personality fits into each of them. There's the kind, like me, who assimilates into the community, shops in local markets, drinks beer in the local street stores, and eats in the local restaurants. Then there's the kind who live in luxury apartments. These are the opposite end of the spectrum. They eat in foreign restaurants. They rarely go shopping because why would they? They have staff to do that for them. Some people from each category hate China but love the money. Others from each category love China and would probably be here anyway. Most of us are somewhere in between that. But let me give you an example of how good the money can be. In 2005, I met and became great friends with a very nice guy, an American working for an American company. Neither the company nor my friend are still in China. Over beers in an international bar, which is 3 or 4 times the price of where I usually drink, he told me he had a salary paid into his US bank of $110,000. He also had a daily living allowance, a per diem, of 1,200 RMB paid in cash by the accountant in his company every Monday morning. At the time, the average monthly salary in the city where I live was less than 2,000 RMB. My own salary was 7,800 RMB, and I was living very well. But I needed to pay taxes, I needed to rent an apartment, and I needed to pay my own way in every respect. Yet I still managed to save 2,000 or 3,000 RMB every month. My friend had a 3-bedroom apartment in a building with a gym and a swimming pool. He was picked up in a private car and taken to work every day by his driver. His breakfast and lunch were provided by the company canteen, and he was handed 8,400 RMB a week in cash. He never ate at home. He preferred to eat in either, at the time, the only Italian restaurant in town or the only foreign bar, spending about maybe 400, 500 RMB a day, which would have included all of his drinks. The result of this living arrangement was that one day I was in his apartment and he opened a cupboard door to show me it was completely full of 100 RMB notes. My guess was about 200, maybe 300,000 RMB, which he'd accumulated over the 2 years that he'd been here. Assuming he was able to spend 3,000 a week, which in those days was quite hard to do, he was easily putting away 250,000 RMB a year, and he had a 3-year contract. Now, assuming he had some way to get this money out of China, it means he could have gone home with over 120,000 US dollars. But that's another problem he had. And we can go into Chinese banking at a different time. For sure, it wouldn't have been so easy. He opened his fridge one day and it was completely empty. No snacks, not even a bottle of milk, nothing. Now, I'm certainly not saying all expats are like this, but many in cities such as Beijing and Shanghai have even better packages than my friend, because we were in a 3rd-tier city at the time. Now, of course, they have higher expenses too. But imagine in the case of a Shanghai-style lockdown, which of us would handle it better? If your life is one of privilege and luxury, being locked down, unable to utilize the services of your domestic staff, unable to go shopping, stock the fridge, and being banned from entering your favorite bars and restaurants, it's going to be pretty hard. There are many expats. Shanghai has an estimated 174 of them who live very, very quietly and well within the rules. But some of them are pretty loud on social media about how they've been suffering. Some of them even work for international media, and they have a platform to complain on. So the next time you read about how hard a lockdown is, think about the 173,000 expats who didn't complain. But also think about the locals earning normal incomes, living normal lives in rented accommodation or with mortgages. Those people don't have the platforms that the privileged individuals have to put their complaints on. It's strange, isn't it? 25 million of them aren't complaining as much as a privileged few hundred. As always, if you have anything to add or questions to ask me, please leave them in the comments and I'll be very happy to get back to you. Thanks once again for watching.